Welcome back to the Moment of Truth with DNAngels. My name is Cindy, and I am a volunteer search angel. If you're new here, DNAngels is a nonprofit based in Carbondale, Illinois, with a global presence. We assist adoptees, donor-conceived individuals, people who never knew their biological parent, and anyone with a DNA surprise to uncover their truth about their biological roots. And we do this at no cost when searching for a biological parent. Today, we are joined by my very special guest, Maria, who we are going to reveal to her for the very first time who her father is. Maria, are you ready to find out?
Yes.
Okay. First, I'd like to just get the audience up to date on what your story is. What brought you to DNAngels?
About a couple years ago, I did my Ancestry DNA kit and didn't really look at the matches and stuff. I just was interested what, ethnicities and stuff that I was mixed with. And about last week, I got this urge to figure out who my biological father was. I just had this feeling that the man that I call my dad is not actually my biological father. So I started searching and looked at the matches, and they didn't seem familiar to me. And that's when I came across DNAngels and just reached out and, sought out the assistance to get down to the bottom of it.
Okay, well, you have come to the right place. Before we get started, I'm going to ask you one thing. What is your favorite color?
Oh, purple and red.
Well, we love purple because it's one of our brand colors. So we'll go with purple for this one. So
Okay.
We would like to invite our audience to show their support for Maria, and by giving us a purple heart emoji if you want to show her that you're cheering her on as we go through this. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is give you a little bit of background at how I came to the conclusion that we have, okay?
Okay.
But I will tell you this up front. Your intuition was correct. So the man that you knew as your birth father and is actually on your birth certificate, I found your birth record, is not your biological father. So I will share with you what we were able to determine. So if you've got your Facebook chat open, I think I explained in the very beginning when we started, the first thing that we do is we sort your matches into basically grandparent networks. You have 2 grandparents and they each have their own network. And your matches are going to be sorted either this line, that line, or sometimes if they come below both of them, they're going to have both colors. So when I did that sort, I'm just going to put a little screenshot in your chat here. Let me close this window and make it bigger so I can. It shows you you've got a blue dotted line and you've got a green dotted line. So, and you can see I've identified the last names of those grandparents in those 2 colored lines.
Okay.
So the next thing we do is we map out those matches. And this is a little chart I'm putting in your group here, your chat, that shows you your green dotted matches. And if you look to the left, the box that's a thick border, that's going to be your grandmother line. Okay. And you can see her initials there. But those shaded boxes, those are all matches, DNA matches to you. So you had a fair amount, decent matches that were enabled us to find where they all come together. And then I did the same thing for the blue line. Your blue line had your closer matches, and I suspect the match that you've been talking to as well. So you can see here again, the solid blue border is grandfather. And those shaded line boxes are your matches. And you can see you got 2 pretty close matches there. You got a great uncle and a half uncle. So that's where they fit in. The next thing we do is we look to see where they come together. And where they come together, we know those are grandparents, and then one of their children are going to be your parent. In this case, father. So we're looking for a male. And we found that with this couple right here. I'm just going to show you what their names. You can see grandfather is still alive. Unfortunately, grandmother has passed just a few years ago. And I have a beautiful picture of them. Would you like to see what your picture of your grandparents?
Yes.
Okay, here you go.
Oh my gosh.
So that's, I believe he goes by Tony and Linda. Those are your grandparents. Okay. You doing okay so far?
Oh. Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Sadly, Linda did pass. And I tried to find an obituary for her, and I just couldn't find any. But look what I did find. I just love this picture.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
Isn't she gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we look alike.
Do you? You see a resemblance there?
Yeah. With
I just got goosebumps.
With my pictures that I have of me as a kid, I definitely look like her.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw some of those. I may have stalked your Facebook profile a little bit. Morning confession time. I know you mentioned it. The cute face with the hair. I think I did see some of those. Yeah. Definitely. So those two were married. They were married for I'm trying to remember. I want to say about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
During their marriage, I'm going to go ahead and just put in here the chart that shows you basically the union.
Okay.
You can see, so to the left is Tony, AW, and to the right is Linda, LW. And their son is going to be your father. Now, they only had 2 children, and one was a female and one was a male. So that made our job easy. Right? We don't have to determine which brother it is, because as far as I can see, they only had 2 children, and they weren't married that long, so I couldn't find, I looked to make sure there wasn't another boy somewhere. I couldn't find any other records, and they weren't married that long. So I'm pretty sure they just had these 2 during their marriage.
Okay.
I'm going to show you in your screenshot just the children, the 2 names. We've got basically Junior, born in 1973, and Veronica, born in 1977. And I know your mother was also born in 1977, I believe, right? So yes. the age fits. So that right there, Anthony, is your father. Would you like to see a picture of him?
Yes, please.
Are you ready? No, he doesn't have much of a digital presence. I had a really hard time, and fortunately, Robin, our research assistant on the case, was fabulous. She dug through many, many, many yearbook photos, and she found a yearbook photo of him. It was a black and white, kind of grainy, so I did a little tweaking to try to give it a better quality.
Okay.
And here you go. You ready? Take a deep breath. Okay, here you go.
Oh my gosh.
I see you in that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that the features rather, that has always stood out because growing up, it's been the shape of my nose. And because my mom and I do not have the same.
Mhm.
Um, but with these pictures, especially with my grandparents and my father's, it clicks. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
you see, and now I know you look a lot like your mother, but it's probably because you knew you didn't look like the man you thought was your father, right? But now
Right.
that you see this, I personally can see both. I mean, you do have your mother's features, but I definitely can see like
But
now you're a blend, a combination of both of them. And
yeah,
I can see where
I can see
I
both of them.
definitely, yeah. I mean, you're a combination of both, and now you know your whole biological truth, both sides.
Oh,
Um, Now, I found something interesting. Now, when we're done here, I am going to share with you lots of information. I have reports that I've ran that has his information. I did a skip trace report that has his current address, phone number. Um, Most of his family besides him is on social media. So wherever you see that little gray icon, like I have for Veronica, that means we also have their Facebook profile saved to their Ancestry profile. So
okay.
I would really recommend when we're done here just to take some time, work through the tree, look at who's who, look at their Facebook profiles. You'll see Veronica, your aunt, is beautiful. She is gorgeous. I think actually for a while I was thinking she was your sister for a while. I was like, oh wait a minute, no, she's her aunt, you know. And I also
Yeah.
believe that Anthony just had very low digital presence, but I found and going through these reports, I found so he is. I assume he's still married. He has a wife on the record. I don't have any evidence of a divorce. Um, and living at the same address, there's a female with his last name that was born in 2020. So I believe you have a half sister. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I have her in his profile. It's just I don't have like her birth record with him as dad, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but she has his last name, and they're living in the same address. So
Okay.
I think we can make some assumptions from that, but it'll need to be verified. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
but so and there's actually on Facebook, there's another daughter that it might be the same person. They go by different names, but they're both born in 2020. So I think it might be the same person with different names, like one for social media and, or nickname, or there's one of the things that made this difficult is there's a lot of name changes and similarities that it's kind of hard. But I think what I got on there, I feel pretty confident. I wouldn't have put it on there if I didn't feel good enough that it's a very good possibility. So I think you have
Okay.
a half sister. Something else really, really interesting that you're
Okay.
probably going to want to talk to your mom about. Your mother is Facebook friends with your grandma Linda.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, Linda's passed, but her Facebook profile is still there. And your mom
Okay.
has made comments like, liked, or I spent a lot of time. Facebook is a valuable tool for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but so, I don't know if they were neighbors, they were friends, if maybe they dated for a while, if I don't know, but I suspect your mom will know more about him when you tell her this is who we determined your
Yeah, definitely.
bio father is. Yeah, and
long overdue conversation.
yeah, and I believe they're all from the same city in California. Like, I think
Okay.
they were all grew up in the same part of town.
Okay.
So it fits together very well. But there's obviously some questions. And it's very possible that your mom, we have this happen a lot, where mom really thought, A was father when she didn't
Right.
realize. Sometimes they're just mistaken. Sometimes there's a reason they had an inkling but didn't really want it to be that person, or they weren't with them and just carried a lie, basically. You never know. But
Yeah.
I believe your mom knows this family. She's friends with grandma. So
Yeah. Oh
and
man.
yeah, and then your match, your high match, he's a half brother to Anthony. So I suspect he can also help you connect if it might be an easier way in, if you are already communicating with him, and he knows because he's your match. Like, he can't
Yeah.
question your relationship. So
Right.
he might be able to help you connect with him, or at least get you the answers. I do have a script that I can give you if you just wanted to reach directly out to him. I can help you with that as well. And then, like I said, I'm going to, in our private chat, when it's all over, when we're done here, I am going to just give you a bunch of information. But I do think right now the easiest thing for you is to go through all their Facebook profiles and kind of figure out who's who. And it's a lot. But
It is. I appreciate all the work put into it though, and in such a timely manner too. It's been such an overwhelming but over joyful, experience. Definitely we'll be asking my mom some questions and
yeah.
just get to know this family now.
Right. Well, we'll always be here for you. Your room, I'll be available in your chat room anytime you have any questions. And we're just very fortunate that we were able to, help you get your biological truth.
Of course. Thank you so much.
You are so very welcome. So with this, we would like to thank everyone for watching The Moment of Truth. If you or someone you love is searching for a biological parent, grandparent, or trying to break down a brick wall in your family tree, visit us at DNAngels.org. We're here to help you find the answers. Parent searches are always free, donations are accepted, and other services may come at a fee. Visit our website to learn more. Hi, everyone. So after our call yesterday, things moved really fast for Maria. So I wanted to give you a quick update to add to this video. So Maria and her mother had actually not been speaking to each other for several years. They had a falling out and hadn't been talking to each other, which I didn't realize until this morning. So Maria reached out to her maternal grandmother, and she got a hold of her mother. The next thing she knew, she received a phone call from her mom. But not only was the call from her mom, it had her mom's good friend and her mom's good friend's brother. Well, her mom's good friend's brother is dad. So she had a three-way call with her aunt and her birth father and her mother, all at the same time, where they revealed and confirmed the identity of her birth father. Mom said she didn't know it was him, but as soon as she learned of the DNA test and the matches surnames, then she knew that she was mistaken. And Mom stepped up to the plate. She got them connected. The family is all welcoming her with open arms. So that's just great news. That's what we love to hear. And Anthony would like to get to know her better, so they're going to start working on that. And as a bigger bonus, she and mom are now reconnected and are working on rebuilding the relationship. And she wanted me to let you guys know she could not have done this without her grandmother's help in kind of being the middleman and connecting her with her mom, who connected her with her aunt and her bio father. As a side note, kind of interesting, she also learned that she has a cousin that is, or I should say was, because he's now passed, but a pretty well-known rapper that out of Compton. So if y'all are familiar with Straight Outta Compton, you may be familiar with her cousin. So all in all, it was a very good ending. Things are still growing. She's going to be developing relationships with her bio father, his family, and reconnected with her mom. So I'm just so happy that everything turned out, and she's moving forward in this next chapter of her life with more family than she ever knew, and reconnecting with those that she had been estranged from. So wanted to give you that exciting update. Thank you all for your support. Don't forget to keep giving those purple hearts to cheer her on and support her in her next chapter of this journey.